A first-rate review about second-born royals on Film Threat Reviews. The firstborn child of royalty are destined to rule a country, but the second-born children are there to get superpowers. In the Secret Society of Second-Born Royals on Disney+. I'm Alan Ning. I was Zorianna Kit, and today, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment about what you thought of the film. I'm kind of, it's when we talk about Disney, it's like there's in some areas they set the high bar of excellence, and others they really don't. Animation, theme parks, the superheroes, Marvel, and arguably Star Wars. But something about live action that just doesn't there just doesn't seem to be an emphasis on that. What did you think of Secret Society of Second-Born Royals?
You mean the Prince Harry, Meghan Markle story? Is that what we're talking about here?
Yes. Like what superpower would you imagine Prince Harry
Well,
having?
so the question is, do you want to be born into a royal society, or do you want to be born into a superhero society? Like usually, like you have to, you dream of like being one or the other. But these kids, they actually get to be both. I mean, come on, they get like the double whammy of, hey, I'm a royal and I'm a superhero. Like,
yeah,
and they're grumpy and they're complaining about it the whole time. Like,
I know. I should probably first mention that I basically gave you the legend, the conceit of the movie. In fact, it's all in the title there.
Yeah,
and there's a level in which you have to get over it and just accept it.
Yes, it's a teeny bopper film, or I might even say tweeny bopper film, and there is so much you can hate about it, but it would be too easy to take jabs at it, because it just wouldn't be fair, because it's not something
for us.
Yes, exactly. It's one of those like superhero gateway movies for little kids who are graduating out of the princess world of movies and are slowly moving into like the Marvel movies. And this is that sort of safe in between movie where the princesses and princes are actually secret superheroes. So it's the gateway film. But, the budget Disney just throws so much money behind the Star Wars films and the Pixar films and the Marvel films. You'd think they would have spared like just a little bit more money here, because it actually plays more like a Disney Channel TV movie. It's like The Descendants without the singing and the dancing, being done by the cast. So it doesn't have that same quality. I mean, you look at it and you're like, okay, this is supposed to be some obscure like country, but like, all right, it's the University of Toronto campus. Like you can tell they shot the whole thing there.
Well, I'm glad you could tell that.
So it's on. Let me talk about the positives. How about that? We'll talk about the positives. The positives is that we have a character who is gay. He says right off the bat, I live with a boyfriend. So that's nice to see represented on screen, even if it's just in a sentence and nothing else. I also love the diversity of the cast. So Disney always gets an A for that, mostly anyways.
Asian leads, I might add.
Yes. But what makes it further feel like a Disney Channel movie is when your lead is actually your former star of a Disney Channel series, Andy Mack, because that's what we're watching. And then the other thing that was a positive is that the female princesses in here all had very different body types. All of them were so diverse. There wasn't this one skinny mini version that young girls will have to try to live up to an ideal. There were it was different across the board, different looks, different ethnicities, different body types, and that is important in the long run. So those are the three positives that I have to point out about this film.
I mean, I would agree with you there. I think my my feeling about the movie is it wasn't necessarily bad or horrible. It's just it felt very bland, especially for what's essentially a superhero movie. You know, and that's why I keep going back to, you know, why is it that Disney succeeds in other areas and in live action? You know, before this one was Artemis Fowl, and it really suffers from the same problems of just really not that interesting, not that clever of a script. And you know, and so you know, it's like, you know, it's like taking an action figure and repainting it to make it a different action figure. It just felt the same over and over again. And you know, you would think, I mean, I would assume that this is maybe based on something original, but I'm I'm just so, you know, it's just so bland. I guess
It
that's
just
what
felt
ultimately
like
what I'm
it
saying.
was all kind of just greenlit fast, put together fast, almost like, hey, we need content for our new streaming service. Let's just put this
Mhm.
together. So I don't know if it's supposed to be the start of a franchise. I mean, they do in the end allude to this possibly not being their last adventure together. But
Mhm.
I don't know if viewers will really want to see another adventure with this group. They, like the villain, there's nothing villainous about him.
I know.
There's nothing to fear.
Well,
And
that's the thing is you see him for 30 seconds in the beginning and not again until the third act of the movie. There's no mention of him. You completely forget about him until that point, which is why I think you know, if they're trying to create a series, the movie is essentially it's an origin story of
yeah,
these kids with their powers, how they learn about their powers, how they hone their powers, and then how they work together as a team to defeat the big bad at the end. And again, all that's pretty standard and basic, which is why maybe, you know, maybe they could have just taken the New Mutants, made it less of a horror film, and,
but
and made it a little bit more exciting like this, because that's
but
essentially what it is. This is the New Mutants, but for
I know, but
Disney.
this is, you know, the major plot hole here was the movie opens with our second born royal like going down with the monarchy, right? She's
Yeah,
protesting, and then when she meets up with the evil guy, he's like, yeah, I'm trying to take down the monarchy. Like, so like, okay, they have a common goal, but he's still the villain and she's our protagonist, and she's just like, no, you're evil, I'm defending the monarchy right now
yeah.
against you. So it was just like, okay, so they meet and they realize they have the same goals, so why
Yeah,
are
and see,
they
but
sides?
that would have been too interesting of a plot twist. And,
Too much for the Tweety boppers to handle, I think.
yeah, you know, and you know, I'll go back again to Disney's excellence. You know, they know how to make movies for kids. They know how to make movies that appeal to kids and adults. You know, and you know, I'm just not sure why that kind of attention is not placed on basically Disney Channel type movies.
Yeah, but you know, I have to say the kids act their heart out. They really do.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that they will go on to other parts and get other roles and shine on. Like they're really just
Mhm.
they are giving it their all. And
Yeah, and
yeah,
yeah, you know, what was it? Peyton Lee, you know, Andy Mack. I mean, she and the rest of the cast are really good, and I say that because I've seen plenty of Disney Channel stars try to make it out there,
yeah.
and SNL did a whole sketch on how to be a Disney Channel actor, and I do really love these performances. You know, they're just not that typical.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, maybe I needed to grab like a 10-year-old kid and sit down and watch it with them to engage their interest. But you know, it's a decent babysitter for your kids for 90 minutes. That's
Yeah.
what I say.
Okay, so
I don't know if we need to rate this, Alan. I just don't feel like my rating is.
I know.
Do I rate it as the 10-year-old me, or do I rate it as the
Like,
mother that I am, or do I rate it as like just like a
yeah.
critic who's going to be harsh
I
on
mean,
it?
I'll tell you what. I gave it a 6 just because it's not bad. I'm sure some people will like it. There's nothing horribly wrong with it to make me hate the movie.
Yeah, it's clean. There's, you know, no swearing. No one even kisses. It's totally safe. It's
What they needed was songs and dancing, and that might have made it more appeal, broadened the appeal to the younger set.
Oh my gosh! There's a lot of songs in this film, except no one is breaking out into song and dance like the Descendants. So that's fine. I'll go with you on the 6. That's fine. I won't argue with you.
All right. Okay. Be sure to visit filmdebt.com for news and reviews on independent films. Like, subscribe, and comment about what you thought of the Secret Society of Second Born Royals. And with that, let's get out of here.